pressured by Hutchinson. He goes down again.
Terrion Arnold. That's what we're going to be discussing right now, and what's going on with this second opinion that apparently has yielded some good news. Like, great news. Change of plans. Great news for Terrion Arnold's season. Now, whether or not Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and the rest of the staff feel the same way, let's just get right into what we're talking about. And I'm going to refer right to Adam Schefter right away. This was right around 12:02 p.m. Second opinion on Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold's shoulder today revealed the injury is not as bad as feared, and he is now expected to return. As one source described, quote, sooner than expected, quite possibly this month, be in October. Well, that's just insanely good news. Oh, man. Like, I'm just thinking, like, how many players have we lost already this year? We're already thinking, is it going to be a second season in a row that we're going to have to go through all of these injuries and it's going to derail us, right? That's what's going through my head. It's like the second coming of 2024. This time it's on the back third of the squad and not the front 2/3. Let's get into some more information here and let's make heads or tails of what's really going on. This has been reported by Sideline Report. Says the Detroit Lions are finally on the receiving end of a good injury update. Terrion Arnold, who was feared to have suffered a season-ending shoulder injury against the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 5, has received a much more positive second opinion that suggests he won't need surgery and won't be missing the entire year. The update, first reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter and confirmed by NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. By the way, both of those guys reported that he was out for the season this morning, and I read that this morning while we were live, so this is a great update. It now means that the Lions aren't going to be as hard-pressed for cornerback help as previously expected. Detroit just went from needing to make a trade for a starting corner at the deadline to possibly being able to ride out Arnold's and DJ Reed's injuries. Let's move down a little bit further. This is huge for both the team and Arnold. The second-year defender was looking like one of the team's best despite not generating any turnovers on the year. I got to pause there for just a moment. Obviously, they don't watch PFF, right? They don't care about PFF because PFF will tell you that he's trash. I will tell you to watch the film, and I think otherwise. I think Terrion Arnold's a pretty damn good football player. I think he makes a lot of really good plays, albeit a penalty here or there, maybe a slightly big play here or there. Arnold's been playing good. Without him on the field, the team is unable to lock down opposing teams' passers as easily. While he's obviously going to still miss some time, the long-term outlook on the Lions, get this, Super Bowl chances is a lot brighter today than it was yesterday. Now, again, according to Schefter, Arnold is expected to miss the season. That was earlier. Or, I'm sorry, isn't expected to miss the season, according to Schefter and Pelissero. Arnold had been nursing a shoulder injury for a few weeks, similarly to left tackle, Taylor Decker. It was obviously exacerbated, I love that word, in the Lions' win over the Bengals, and he had to be carted off the field as a result of the injury. An ominous sign for any fan to pick up on, right? That's what they say. Another report by CBS said the same thing. Arnold's second opinion on his injured shoulder revealed that the injury is not as severe as the Lions originally thought, and he's not expected to need season-ending surgery. Adam Schefter, ESPN reports. There we go. We've got 3 sources in there, or 2 sources, or 4 sources, whatever you need. You got plenty of sources in there telling you the same thing. Question for you now. You feel a little better? I know I do. Feel a lot better. Which means all the videos I was working on, I should probably just park them for a minute. Maybe I'll still release them. I was looking at some corners today based on this morning's information that Terrion Arnold was likely done for the year and was not going to be a great opportunity for him to get back. So this is great news. And I have to urge you guys once again, like if you really have disdain for Terrion Arnold's play, I will definitively defend him in how he plays. And the reason why is we as Lions fans have always, well, begged is probably the wrong word. We've been missing some pretty key elements to a defense for a long time. And finally, we get what on paper was going to be one of the best defensive back rooms ever that I've seen assembled in Detroit since I've been a fan. There might have been a couple of seasons with some pretty good football players in there, but nothing like what was shaping up to be this season. We've never really had an opportunity to have a couple of lockdown guys and guys that stay in phase and mirror really well to the receivers, so much so that they're right on their hip, and when they're right on their hip and they're dropping them right where they catch the football, if they do catch it, or they're able to make a play, isn't that a lot better being sticky than not being sticky and you're letting up 10, 15 yards every time and then another 5, 10 a yak before you get down there to make a tackle? And like, I'd rather have TA be a little aggressive or a lot aggressive and make some plays. That's what I'd rather have. Way more so than Jerry Jacobs, right? Just leaving everything out to pasture or not able to make any plays. Even Carlton Davis let up a few big plays. He was pretty solid at times, but if you were to compare the two, yeah, Carlton's a better corner because of his experience, but man, he's a young cat. And he's clawing his way to the top, man. I promise you, TA is going to be okay as long as he stays healthy. But now you're talking an injured group right now that is coming back. Davenport, Reed, Ali McNeil could be this weekend. TA, Khalil Dorsey, Malcolm Rodriguez, Josh Paschal. We got some dogs coming back to this team. And yeah, the fourth quarter fell apart against the Bengals. Was not great. But I want to remind you of a couple of things. Some things that I went over in another video that not everybody saw. Let's get into that for a second. All right, Al Carson. Remember, we spoke about this earlier, but Terrion Arnold has allowed just 50 receiving yards total over weeks 4 and 5 on 5 catches, 9 targets, no TDs, and 2 pass breakups. That's pretty damn good stats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would accept that all day. 71.5 passer rating allowed, ranks in the top 25 among 101 qualifying corners in that span between weeks 4 and 5. So when you look at PFF or you look at stats, try to whittle it down. Look at all 5 weeks. Look at the most recent 2 weeks. Do half a season, first half or second half. Like, mess with it a little bit, and you'll see a better trend. People get stuck on just opening PFF. They look at one score and like, damn, dude's got a 40. Or, man, his passer rating against is, 120. Well, that might be for the whole season because he had a bad game. You still had a short sample size here, only 5 weeks into the season. Here's some other notable names that this was up against. So, including several who played only 1 game this season, have allowed more yards in coverage than Terrion Arnold has over the last 2 weeks. Derek Stingley, Quinnen Mitchell, Devin Witherspoon, and Sauce Gardner and Christian Gonzalez all taken in the first round in the last 4 years. Denzel Ward, Cooper DeJean, Christian Benford, Tyson Campbell, Mike Sainristil, L'Jarius Sneed, and Darius Slay. That's pretty good company to be involved with in this year of the NFL. How about this one? Colton Pouncey said yesterday that he had just watched all of Terrion Arnold's coverage snaps, as did I, and he felt that he was anticipating routes. He knew where his help was and routinely challenged 2 of the better receivers in the league. That is such a key word by Colton Pouncey. Challenged. Look, do you want TA to sit there and get his ass kicked? Or do you want him to go and fight? Do you want him to have an opportunity and a chance to mix it up and make a play? Right? I'm sorry. I'm going to say like Dan Campbell, I'm not going to apologize for a corner that is trying to make a play. I would be pissed if he wasn't making a play or wasn't trying to make a play or looked lazy out there. I'd be pissed about that. How about this one? Of course, I made this so small I can't even read it. Points allowed when Terrion Arnold was in the game in week 5. 44 snaps, 3 points allowed, 4.1 yards per play. Offense success rate, 34%. EPA per play, 0.34. Pass yards per attempt, 3.9. Passer rating against, come on, people, 28.9. Explosive play rate, 2.3%. Interception rate, 10%. The Lions snagged all those interceptions in week 5 when TA was in the game. Or I think 2 of them when he was in the game. Okay, ranked first in the league. That was through 26 teams that had played through that time on Sunday. There were still a couple of teams that had yet to play. How about when he left the game? Right, those numbers go from 1st to 26th, which is last in the league, except for interception rate was tied for 9th at 0%. Because there was no more interceptions when he left the game. So I'm sorry. I would much rather have TA in the game than not. And the biggest reason why, outside of, There's not really anybody out there that's better than him. Not that I would want anybody else on this squad right now. A healthy TA is better than anybody we're going to pick up. And let me just warn you about this. For those of you that dislike what Brad Holmes does with free agency, that dislikes what Brad Holmes does with picking guys up throughout the season or at the trade deadline, what makes you think that he would do anything different than what he's already proven to you that he's done or hasn't done in your opinion, right? Do you think for one moment he was going to go out and spend $15, $20, $25 million a year or even $10 million on a corner to cover this year if TA was out? Probably not. Nope. It was probably going to be somebody like DiCaprio Boodle or maybe Kendall Fuller, maybe. But you know what I'm saying? A couple $1,000,000 is probably what he was looking to spend. Or at most a 7th-round draft pick. Future 7th-round draft pick. And that's it. And that's not going to bring in a L'Jarius Sneed or, you know what I'm saying? That quality of a corner. It's going to bring in a guy that can, help you in practice, be part of the practice squad, get called up a few times. Or if it's a trade, he'll be right on the 53 and give, be that 6th defensive back on the squad that day. So that's the warning, right? We wouldn't have received anybody else, in my opinion, which, you know what? We might see. Brad still may make a move. He still might bring someone in because we're down 2 top dogs for at least 4 weeks, right? If Terrion Arnold comes back at the end of the month, what is that, 24 more days? So about 3.5 weeks. And I doubt that they're going to push it. They're probably going to let it relax a little bit. They don't want to have him come back, just like they said with Decker. Why bring him back right now? Get healthy. I want you for the long haul. I don't want you for a couple of games and then you're done for the year. We want to see you back, the last 6, 7 games of the season and then the playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl. That's what we need these guys for. I think that we're okay right now with the way that the schedule is lining up. Injuries are lining up for other teams, and their receivers or what they're not doing offensively. We have enough guys that can get after the ball, right? We have enough guys that can get after the passer. Really good against the run. So I think we're okay. But yeah, are we going to shut these teams down? No, we're not. And maybe we will. Maybe we'll get surprised. But with TA in the fold, this is a much better team. Much, much, much better team. Anyway, I'm gonna step out of here in just a few moments. Today is just a quickie on TA, man. This is great news. It's obviously great for the defensive back room. We're still not out of the woods yet, right? Dan and Brad's got it. They have to feel comfortable about everything. TA's got to do the work. He's got to get back to rehabbing that shoulder and whatever that entails. I don't know if there's any microscopes that they would do. I don't know if scoping the shoulder does anything, if there's a labrum tear or not. Can it heal on its own over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks? Probably. Is it going to be strong after that? Maybe not. I mean, I know for my own labrum tears, like rest and ice and heat and all that good stuff, like that's all you can really do. I couldn't go do a bunch of weightlifting or training or anything like that. Not that I do at my age really anyway. But yeah, labrum tears are they're fickle, man. You can't do a whole lot. And again, I don't know what his injury is. Nobody does. I haven't seen a report. I haven't seen anyone report what the actual injury is, whether it's a soft tissue tear or if it's ligaments or if it's, if it's bone. What is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. So whatever it is, they must feel that he can get back. And that's great news. That's absolutely great news. So I guess my question is Brad going to bring somebody in? Is he going to bring somebody in? And if so, I think it's right where I'm thinking it's going to be a Band-Aid. It's not going to be anything. Look, Amik Robertson can do the job. He really can. He can do the job of one of those guys. The question is, what are we going to do on the other side? And I've got to find out what's going on with Rocky Sin, if he's going to be able to go this week. I haven't heard anything different, but I haven't heard anything to say otherwise either. And I think Rocky Sin made a few nice plays when he was in. Matter of fact, he made an extremely good play downfield on a long ball. He got outside leverage and got up and tipped the ball away. If that was Jared Goff or Patrick Mahomes or Matthew Stafford or somebody else throwing that football, they were going to throw that ball short to the right, to the outside, and it would have been a completion, right? And that would have been a completion for some big yardage, and he probably would have burned the quarter and scored a touchdown. But it wasn't one of those guys. It was Browning throwing the football, so that corner played fine technique, I think, on that play. I'm ecstatic that this dude's going to get back this year. TA is as aggressive as he is. He has no quit, man. No quit. When he gets in there and gets focused, you're not going to stop the dude. You're not. He's going to go all out. He's going to give you everything that he has. He's going to leave it all on the field. Let's get some more good news. Like, what else is going to pop today? How about Aleem McNeil? Can we hear that later today? How about Aleem McNeil getting a shot this weekend? And if they were 50-50, this last weekend, which I didn't expect for him to play. Maybe he gets a shot this weekend and they put him on a pitch count. 10 reps. Get him in there. See what he does. I think it's going to be great to get him back, man. He's just going to be a ball of energy. All right, y'all. Go on Pride. Go Detroit Lions. TA. Super good news, man. Super, super good news. All right, we'll catch you guys later on. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Pressured by Hutchinson.